Christian Whiton is principal at DC International Advisory. He is joining us from Los Angeles. Christian, why do you think the world is so riveted by this story and that this visit is getting so much attention when visits by other Asian leaders, for the most part, it's gone unnoticed?
Right. You know, it is interesting because this is a White House distracted this week, as last week, by serious scandals. But this visit by Burma, Myanmar's leader, getting more attention than a visit by Japan's prime minister or South Korea's president. Really, it's because of the thaw between U.S. and Burma, which is considered the hallmark of former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's tenure. So this is something being talked up by the White House and by the Washington press as a major accomplishment of the Obama first term. However, human rights activists in Washington, in the U.S., criticized the White House for meeting with Thein, saying that this is too much too soon as far as giving him this sort of major, indication of legitimacy, a meeting at the White House.
We just heard President Barack Obama saying that, yes, a lot more needs to be done. And here at CNBC, of course, we talk about everything from a business angle, and we talk to business leaders, and they are absolutely lining up to get into this country. Do you think that's premature, given that there's obviously so much more that needs to be done?
It is. It's seriously premature, and it's really been remarkable to watch the headlong rush of businesses into Burma. It's not just natural resources, which is a primary interest, but also tourism, even communications and media. The problem is politics, democracy is not even close to being consolidated in Burma. And looking ahead to elections, you have the most popular woman who would be president, Aung San Suu Kyi, more than 2 decades under house arrest, under military rule, is banned by the Constitution from running, yet she and her supporters are going to want to put her in office, and that is something the government has said it's going to resist. So really, it's likely there are going to be some serious political incidents going forward in the next couple of years. And the question is if that turns into violence or serious unrest, or if the lack of the rule of law becomes more apparent, if investors are really going to head for the exits faster than people expect.
Yeah, so, is that the big sleeping issue, which is not going to get talked about at this summit at all, and which is going to have to be addressed or brought up after all the photo ops are over? And that's the fact that, you've got this country, by the numbers, it's got great demographics, 60 million people. It's basically got everything, but, it's also got 12 different ethnic groups who hate each other, but they hate the government more, and they're sitting on a lot of the areas and land where these natural resources are, where tourism needs to be developed. I mean, if there's no peace with these fellas, there's no development. I mean, would that be fair, Christian?
I think that is. There is so much opportunity in this country, but absent the rule of law and some sort of polity that makes sense and that has served at least the test of some time. The president Thein Sein said that there are tough challenges ahead. Not really, if they just have a real democracy, a real constitution, and have the rule of law. But you're not seeing that just yet. It's too soon. Even the parliament is not fully democratically elected. There's some democratically elected parliamentarians. And really what Burma has done, Myanmar has done, is copy the Chinese model, where you have some of the trappings of the rule of law and trappings of accountable government, but not really. And you do that in order to have investors come in and to win accolades in the West, but you still maintain control, and you still are basically above the law if you're a leader in Burma.
Yeah, I see that too. Understood. Listen, Christian, we got to go. Do it again soon. Thank you. Christian Whiton, from DC International Advisory. We're going to count you down to the start of Tokyo and Sydney trade when Squawk comes right back after this.